Ace Podcast.
This is the Super Co-op Squad Video Game Podcast, episode 73. On today's show, we'll be talking about guest characters, we'll take a look at the Tomb Raider movie, and see if we should keep doing video game movies, as well as a few quick topics that are food for thought. We'll have our games, such as gamer trivia, fan faves, name the game, and of course, the speed run.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Super Co-op Squad, the video game podcast. I am your host, just one of your hosts, Johnny Mack, and I'm here with my other two hosts, Garrett Laney.
Hello.
And Joshua Gerard.
It's me.
Yep, I'm liking both your shirts, that R-Wing shirt. Nice, Garrett.
I like it.
R-Wing Atari?
Yes,
Nice.
yes. I thought it was really cool.
If you know the old Atari shirt with those like lines going vertically up, it kind of has the R-Wing in place of that, like as it's whooshing through the Atari symbol. Pretty cool. And Joshua is wearing an Iron Patriot shirt.
I mean, it's just a Marvel in general.
Oh, it looks like Iron Patriot, but cool. All right, well, you guys, we are the Super Co-op Squad. We love games, movies, comics, everything nerdy, everything pop culture related. Every single week, we talk about the latest news and reviews and just general information that come up for anything gaming related and a few other side topics sometimes. Before we hop into today's show, though, we're going to give you our terrible spoiler of the week.
Terrible spoiler is, in Thor Ragnarok, Thor loses Meow Meow.
I really don't have anything to say for this.
He loses Meow Meow.
Mjolnir, sir. But okay. All right, there's a terrible spoiler. For the real spoilers, guys, make sure you go to scspodcast.net. You can go ahead and check our show notes. You can see what we're talking about, what we're discussing, and anything you don't want to know about, you just skip it.
Snarf, snarf.
Yep. There's also going to be a link for that in the summary of wherever you might be listening. All right. So as Garrett said, first topic, we're going to be talking about guest characters. So there have been a lot of interesting guest characters in games as of late. Injustice 2 brought us Hellboy, Sub-Zero, the Ninja Turtles, Super Smash back through 2014 through 2016. It brought us Bayonetta, Cloud, Ryu, Sonic, Mega Man, Pac-Man, in the last game. Now, Soul Calibur 6 is bringing us the Witcher himself, Geralt of Rivia, and Tekken 7 is actually bringing Noxus from Final Fantasy.
Noctis?
What I said? Noctis?
Noxus.
You said Noxus.
Well, he is
That's
noxious.
Noctis.
Ooh.
But they also got Akuma, too.
They did. So, this is happening more and more, and they're going and pulling deeper and deeper cuts for characters. So, how do we feel about guest characters in games?
If I may start, I think
You may not. No,
Okay, then I'll go. So,
All right, Joshua.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say it's really cool. It's an easy way, I think, for developers to kind of pull in outside people that wouldn't normally be into maybe say like Jason and Mortal Kombat. People love Friday the 13th and everything. Oh wait, I can play as Jason in a fighting game, and they try it out. Him showing up in other kind of horror games, such as I believe it's Dead by Daylight. It's really cool to see these other characters that you wouldn't normally see in a game that they wouldn't normally be in.
Right.
and for the most part, it's mainly for fighting games, but sometimes it goes a little bit beyond fighting games, and you might see, a crossover.
Infinity.
A what?
Beyond Infinity.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Most of the time it's in fighting games, and what I like is kind of piggybacking on what Garrett said. Is those surprise characters that you wouldn't expect to be crossing over from, in his case, a movie franchise, or for me, crossing over complete game franchises. Like you have Link in Soul Calibur, but not only that, you're like, okay, you have a Nintendo character that's in a fighting game that's other than Smash Brothers. Like that is kind of like, what are you doing, Nintendo? But it was fun and it worked.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's always fun to have new characters or different characters in a franchise that you usually know who the roster is going to be or what kind of character it's going to be. So it is definitely fun, and I do like it a lot. But I think this new trend they have of going just deep, like things you just never could ever expect is really cool. Like they're doing that bigger and better than they've done ever before from what I see. But why is this trend happening more, and why do we love it? Like, I mean, it's obvious we like it, but why? Like, what does it bring for us?
I just think it's a cool way to see characters move and maybe have homages. They'll have kind of fun quotes or fun actions that they do that is a callback to either the movie they're in, the comic they're in, all that kind of stuff. So it's a nice kind of nerdy feeling to say, hey, they got someone I like. They know that this person is cool.
Yeah, I kind of look at it like it gives us a chance to like see what those developers also enjoy that we enjoy. Like, I mean, just the latest one that I can think of that really brings it to mind is with Injustice 2 with, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and the way that they brought those characters to life, and they feel like the turtles should feel, they talk like the turtles should talk.
It feels like straight out of the movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I just like kind of looking through the character that they developed and seeing the developers behind that who also really like this thing that I like.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is really awesome.
Yeah, it's more, I think for fans. I think it's just, for the most part, fan service at the same time, introducing something that's a little bit fresh from the norm. Probably the biggest crossover maybe ever is Kingdom Hearts. You're not expecting to see Disney
not at
with
all.
your Final Fantasy. You're not expecting that at all. And I'm just kind of looking at a brief list. There's a lot of crossover stuff, but most of them are in fighting games, and other ones are like Nintendo, like you have Link and Mario Kart and a couple other ones. But a couple like standout ones that I saw, where did it go?
Well, while you're looking for that, we'll get to the next question. We'll pop back over to you. Who does this benefit? So you got the guest character, you have the host game. Which benefits more from this situation?
There's both sides of the coin are benefiting. As far as which one benefits more, I would probably say the developer or the I guess, the developer at that point. On the fan side, you kind of get that cool nostalgic callback or just seeing something cool. And then on the developer side, sometimes the characters cost some money. So there's a little monetary value in there. And also it looks good. It looks good to see companies working together and having crossovers. So it's like, okay, wow, that company's working with that one. All right, cool.
Yeah. I think in my opinion, it's the guest that I mean, not that the host doesn't benefit, but the guest benefits more because they may not like, a lot of the guest characters sometimes don't have their own like specific game or they're an older game or things like that. And they're coming to, yeah, right? Like they just don't have anything. And they're coming to this franchise or this series who has probably a pretty big install base if they're able to like get in guest characters and be shown to that fan base.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off that, it breathes life into, that franchise again. Or has the potential to anyway.
Yeah, and then just quickly on the flip side, like the host does it like, okay, so whatever DLC was going to come out, players of that game were probably going to get the DLC if they were fans. But now you might be pulling in a lot of people who just like the Turtles or who just like Jason or who just like whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, on their side a benefit as well.
That's a good bring up because if you look at Noctis right now in Tekken 7, that character just released, I believe, in this last week. And then Final Fantasy 15 just got dropped on PC within the last couple months. So you're breathing life into both games. If you like Final Fantasy, you're just breathing it into Tekken. If you like Tekken, that's a way to breach those into Final Fantasy. And just the one thing that I thought that stood out, the most in recent years, I think Killer Instinct had one of the better guest characters.
There were some cool ones in there.
I mean, you had Rash from Battletoads, which no one expected. You have an Arbiter from Halo, and then you had General Rom from Gears. Like you don't expect any of those crossovers, even though they're all franchise for Microsoft for the most part. But then you have like a Spartan in Dead or Alive 4. Which was exclusive to the Xbox. So it's fun. And you're like, I want to kind of play these characters. I want to see what they're about.
Yeah. All right. Favorite guest character in a game.
Ooh, okay. Do fighting games count? Can we count Smash Bros.
That's
and
pretty much
Marvel's
all
Capcom?
of them.
Okay. Cause, I mean, of course there's Bayo for me. There's, Amaterasu and Marvel's Capcom. That was really cool. But Sly Cooper and PlayStation Battle All-Stars.
Wow. You hate that game, though.
I do. It's a terrible, terrible game. They tried Smash Brothers. It failed miserably. But I think if they made a second one and kind of just said, all right, guys, look, let's just copy.
Right.
It'd be a great game.
Yeah, it would.
But Sly Cooper, he was awesome.
Okay, cool.
Probably recently, I'll take from the Smash page. Seeing classic Mega Man, seeing 8-bit Mega Man come to Smash 4 was pretty awesome. And his, we don't play with
Final Smashes.
The Smash Ball. But that Final Smash is pretty much all the Mega Man franchises from Mega Man 8-bit, Mega Man X, Battle Network, Zero, all those Mega Mans coming together to do a Mega Blaster was pretty awesome.
Nice.
He died.
I just really quickly, I thought looking at the pop wall here, what would be a great couple of like
Guest
characters, the Power Rangers.
I was just looking at it
Yeah,
too
the Black
when you said
Ranger.
that.
Don't be as surprised if like a season 4 of Injustice came out and it's just Power Rangers.
I would be. It would be so.
Honestly,
cool.
it would just be the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
Like if they're going to pick a Ranger, it's going to be the Green Ranger, maybe the White Ranger.
Yeah.
Probably. Sadly enough, yeah.
Green
I mean,
Ranger for sure.
I like the Red Ranger better. I think he's better, but I do understand that the Green Ranger and White Ranger are much more popular.
Yeah.
So I can.
But that would be
see
cool.
that.
Or, I mean, maybe they can do it. Well, I'm sure it'll be Green Ranger as kind of like the default character. And then, of course, they'll have, either equipment or just color changes to be the other
Different
Rangers.
skins,
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So for my favorite guest character, I'd have to say probably it's still Smash Brothers Cloud. I never could have guessed
Because
that.
why would you?
Right,
Of
yeah.
all of them, Cloud. Like
yeah.
Titus, I could see more. And or Titus, however you want to pronounce it. I could see being more of a choice. Not out of popularity, but just more recent kind of thing. But no, we got Cloud.
Yeah.
Both versions.
Yeah, right. What would be cool to me now though is if they did bring like, not that I like Titus, I really don't, but like if they brought him, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But if they brought Squall, like with the Gunblade,
He's my favorite.
his game is the best.
Or Zidane. I'd be very happy with Zidane. Come on,
was-
dual daggers.
Not my favorite, but
All
he's
right,
better than Titus. He's better than
Would
Titus.
you take Squall over Tifa?
Yes. Tifa would be very low on the list.
I don't know, because Tifa would be like a little Mac.
Mhm.
Kind of like it'd be nothing but
Brawler.
just,
He's a
yeah.
brawler.
Yeah. I don't know. She'd be just as fun, I think.
Yep. Cool, guys. All right. Well, that's what we got on guest characters in games, our quick take on it. Let us know what you guys thought. What are your favorite guest characters? What are the worst? And what would you hope for one of your favorite games for a guest character potentially in the future? Let us know. Reach out to us by email at contact@scspodcast.net or on Twitter @SuperCoopSquad. All right, guys. It is time for fan favorites. So every week we pick 5 rapid fire questions and each of us answers to find where we stand opposed and united in fandom. Play along, find out just what are your fan favorites. And now you can do that. There'll be a link in the summary and the details of this episode. You'll be able to click that link and you'll be able to take that quick 5 question survey. You'll get your polled answers put into our pie chart, and we'll know where you stand in fan favorites as well. So make sure you click that link. It'll be in the top, right at the tip top of the summary and the details. All right, Garrett, it was your week, my friend.
It was my week.
What do you got for us?
All right. Throughout time, we have witnessed many kings, whether it be by blood or admiration. Out of these choices, choose your favorite king. This is Fan Faves, King of Pop Culture.
All right, let's do it.
First choice, Joffrey Baratheon or Burger King.
Is his name actually Burger King?
I didn't look it up.
Yeah. So King of Burgers.
Johnny?
Burger King.
Burger King. Next up, King Triton or Aquaman.
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 King K. Rool or King DDD.
King DDD.
DDD.
King K. Rool. King Koopa or the Gerudo King Ganondorf.
The Gerudo King.
King Koopa.
The Gerudo King. And last, the King of Pop or the King of Rock and Roll. Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley.
Yeah. I'm going to say Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
All right, let's break these down.
All right. First up, we have Joffrey Baratheon or the Burger King.
So, just want to start off and say I got a Pac-Man out of this, but we'll determine we'll say which one it was who won. I mean, nobody wants Joffrey as their king.
No, nobody does.
But, Burger King had all their commercials, and what was the king doing? Putting burgers in everybody's pockets.
He's Sneak King.
Yeah, he's taking everybody's money, too.
Yeah. And then if you had the black bun Halloween burger, you had green poops or black poops. You had discolored poops.
What are you talking about?
And, in like Japan or something, like their burgers were black.
That's gross.
They color dyed all the buns where they were all black.
I think even like during Halloween time here.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
I never knew they were happening here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb. But yeah, I don't want Joffrey to be king of anything.
Nope, I want to be alive as well as other people around me.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Nope, but I know who he is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, didn't the man wasn't he gonna rip out a bard's tongue for like singing a song he didn't like?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said like, I could either like take your fingers or take your tongue. Choose which one.
Oh, man.
Scumbag.
Which one would you choose?
Well, I'd have to lose my tongue. If I have no fingers, I can't live a life. Like,
Your fingers or
yeah.
one finger?
No, his fingers, like all of his
Plural.
10 digits. If you have no fingers, you are very extremely handicapped.
Yeah.
If you don't have a tongue, I mean, you can't speak, but I can still work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So-
you still somewhat make a living.
Exactly. But of course, guys, Burger King won. There's a few of you masochists who chose Joffrey as your king, so enjoy that. 87% for Burger King, 12% for Joffrey.
Yeah, they got good chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, that too.
All right, so next up was King Triton from Little Mermaid or Aquaman.
I was surprised you didn't pick Triton.
I mean, if I have to pick one, I like Aquaman more. I do.
He likes Disney. He also likes DC.
See, but I don't think that you thought this through, Garrett, for you.
All right.
I mean, if King Triton is your king, you can marry into the royal family. He's got a lot of daughters.
He does, all starting with A.
That's if Garrett gets picked.
Well, I mean, he's picking him as his king, so they got a close, relationship.
I mean, like, I get it. I can't have, the best one, Ariel. She's taken. All right, I get that. I'll take the second or third, but I mean,
Get a flounder.
do I have to fall into an ocean to be saved by one?
I mean, just because you vote for the king doesn't mean you get the king's daughter.
That is true.
Who'd you pick?
I'm Aquaman.
Okay.
I don't care about King Triton or his redheaded stepchild Joshua.
Wow.
Of a daughter.
Never bringing you around my kids.
just to clear things up, she is not a stepdaughter.
No, she is not. Okay, so Triton lost 75% for Aquaman to 25% for Triton. Gave me another Pac-Man.
That's a solid number for King Triton.
Sure.
A fourth.
Sure it is. All right, next up. What we got?
King K. Rool from Donkey Kong or King DDD from Kirby.
I mean, DDD gets to hang around the Fountain of Dreams, and K. Rool is just on an island with a ship stealing bananas.
I thought about this. I mean, in the 8 seconds that I had to think about it, and King K. Rool is essentially a crocodile. I might be in physical danger of death with him around. DDD's a penguin. He's blustery and he's full of hot air, but I mean, when it comes down to it, the man's got no teeth.
I mean, he could just swallow you whole, suck you up.
There's that, and he's got a giant hammer.
If he wants to, yeah. He got
a mallet.
Pretty big ground pound.
I mean, I play against him in Smash. I can anticipate when he swings that hammer.
Well, he's also throwing Waddle Dees and spikes at you.
Very true.
I like King K. Rool more. DDD never really kind of sparked my I just don't care for his design.
He never revved your engine?
I suppose not. No. King K. Rool I think is pretty cool, especially in the second Donkey Kong Country captain.
King K. Rool peeled your banana?
Okay.
He buttered your toast.
All right. This is a narrative we're going with.
So DDD won 87.5% to King K. Rool's 12.5%, and a third Pac-Man on the pie chart for Johnny Mac.
Ooh. All right. Can we get all five?
Yep, let's see here. All right. What we got next? Number 4.
Next up, King Koopa or the Gerudo King Ganondorf.
Why couldn't you just put Bowser?
Well, because I want to make it evident he also goes by
You
King
made sure
Koopa.
to put Ganondorf.
Well,
you could have
I could have put King. Well, I don't know, because I think in Japan he's literally called King Koopa.
Yeah.
They don't call him Bowser.
That's true, but they don't call him Ganondorf in Japan.
The character they do. He's been both Ganon and Ganondorf, but he still goes by Ganondorf.
Okay, all right.
That's a straight up name change.
So Razor's Edge here.
I mean, Ganondorf he just leaves the people alone most of the time. He just kind of takes over the.
What are you talking about?
I know that's
not true.
Do we see the same future?
It depends on what game you're playing.
Hyrule?
Depends on what game you're playing.
Fair enough. I don't know. Calamity Ganon wasn't exactly leaving people alone. He was building it up.
I mean, Wind Waker, is he really bothering anybody?
I think are you really trying to defend Ganon here and say he's not a bad guy?
What I'm trying to say is he doesn't make people slaves like Koopa does.
Koopa doesn't make people slaves. He does.
Every creature in front of him is either captured or his slave to do his work.
What game are you playing? I think we're playing different games. You and Garrett aren't playing the same Zelda.
It doesn't have to be game, TV show, movie, don't matter. We're just talking.
The only thing I see that Koopa does is try to commit kidnapping and rape. That's it.
That's him specifically.
He does it for love.
And that's fine. I mean, if you're raping, you should never.
Well,
do that.
no. I mean, that hasn't happened.
You've taken it to a whole nother level.
Have you seen that comic strip where it's like a guy inside a Bowser suit and like he hung up the head or whatever, and then he turns over to Peach. They're both in bed and she's smoking the cigarette. Yep. He's like, does he still believe I'm kidnapping you?
I've seen that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all he's doing is kidnapping Princess Peach, and that's it. He's not harming the Mushroom Kingdom. If anything, actually, Mario's the one harming the Mushroom Kingdom. He's the one going through a town and just smashing bricks, destroying things, lighting things on fire,
Killing turtles.
Yeah, killing turtles. They're just walking, right? They're just walking in straight lines.
But they're the bad guys.
From that point of view of the story,
Koopas.
history is written by the winners.
He's not a great father, though.
He's really not. Yeah.
I don't know, because he did have that parental guidance with the Switch.
That was really good, actually. Good. All right, cool. So that was 62% for Bowser, aka King Koopa, to the 37.5% for Ganondorf.
Ouch, buddy.
So lost there. That doesn't count as a Pac-Man.
Sure
Unfortunately, his mouth is
you.
a little too far open. So at 70%, I would have got it. All right, last one, Garrett.
And the last one, which I'm sure for some people was pretty tough. You got the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, or the King of Rock and Roll.
Ooh, it's about time for a thriller. Didn't lose any chocolate. I just added vanilla going off the walls.
Epic rap battle, huh?
Yeah, man.
I was going to say, I don't think either of them saying that.
I don't remember that on any of Michael Jackson's albums.
Ooh, Elvis Presley as a living breed. You stole rock and roll, gave us rockabilly cheese. You should really listen to the epic rap battles of history.
It's great.
Yeah. Well, no, but yes. Yeah, Michael Jackson, I think, has done way more for music than Elvis did. Not taking nothing away from you, Elvis, but Michael Jackson is just an icon.
He is. I mean, for me personally, I love his music a lot more than, Elvis Presley. He's had some good ones too. Elvis, of course, has had great music, but when it comes to something that I want to listen to and kind of get me, in whatever mood, Michael Jackson, man.
He wants to rock with you.
It's also different generations too. So you talk to any our parents, they would
absolutely not pick Elvis. You think your dad would pick Elvis over Michael?
No, my mom and all my mom's side will probably pick Elvis.
Okay.
Because like I said, it depends on how old you are and depends on what you grew up with.
I could probably guarantee that most of my family would definitely choose Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone in my family would pick Elvis. Also, Elvis stole a lot of his early music from other people. Yeah. So that's a big.
Just like what's his name in Coco?
Yes, just
De La
like
Cruz. Remember him.
All right, so the King of Pop obviously won. Whoa!
Ooh.
I'm sorry, actually. Right?
Wow. Yep.
Elvis Presley took that one. 75% to Michael Jackson's 25%.
That Elvis Pac-Man ate them.
You did give me the Pac-Man though. I mean, there's that.
I mean, okay, the fans have spoken.
Stings, huh, Gary?
I guess me saying that didn't sound as bad now, did it?
Burns.
Wow. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, that's fan favorites. That was rough, Joshua.
He's crying. That's why.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
It's like that Key and Peele skit.
All right, guys, that's fan favorites for this week. All right, so we're going to do a quick review of the Tomb Raider movie. So, Garrett, Joshua, I know that at least one of you had wanted to talk about this. I wanted to get this in before it got too far away, as the odds of me catching this the next week or two might be slim. So we'll get into it. We'll ask some questions. Just quick note for everyone listening. I have not yet watched it, so just these two have. But
so you're okay with spoiler content?
I am wow. for this movie, because I just generally don't care to.
I mean, she gets a bow and arrow.
Yeah, I mean, I've played the game, which means I watched the movie.
Pretty much. Might as well. If you don't want to hear it, check the timestamp.
Yep, there you go. All right, so quickly, we'll go into this. We got about 6 minutes on this topic here. So what were your expectations heading into this movie based on a video game?
I'll go first. My expectations were pretty low. I mean, the game was, this is based off the first rebooted Tomb Raider game, and it was a great, phenomenal game in my opinion. Definitely changed what we thought about that franchise being revitalized. I didn't expect anything going into this movie. I knew what I was getting into it. I knew it was, I don't want to say a knockoff, but I knew based on a couple sequences in the trailers that this was going to be largely a cut, copy, and paste from the game. And I didn't expect to give my hopes up. That's my kind of intro going into it.
Fair. I was midway. I didn't expect it to be bad, but I knew it wasn't going to be phenomenal.
Really quick, I just want to, maybe we should do this segment thing now where if someone says the name of a developer during their, their discussion, we should call it out. Just think about it. And if you out there listening think it'd be funny, I think you said Midway. I wanted to be Developer.
Okay, I see. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like one of those.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll acclaim to that.
That was really epic. But okay. So now that we've established this, I think we should do this going forward.
Just developers, huh?
Yeah, just developers or publishers. Either one.
I gotcha. Video game industry.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
I like that.
So that's a game. All right, let's go.
Okay, so I don't want to, or I was midway.
Developer!
There's I wasn't expecting too much, but I knew, or I had a feeling it wasn't going to be terrible. It looked interesting to me, based off all the trailers I saw and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I can say that looking at everything that I know about it, seeing the trailers, I really appreciate the fact that they are going with the new Tomb Raider and the fact that it's not so much of a sex symbol. Now, I do have some thoughts on maybe the actress herself. I guess we'll get into that in a little bit, but I like the fact that they're going with this new style Tomb Raider rather than the old one, who just seems outdated.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So after the movie, did it exceed your expectations, meet them, fall well below? How'd you feel about the movie overall?
It was like I went with Tiffany. We'll see it. I gave it a 6.5, which for you guys probably would think it's pretty low for me.
Didn't you give what movie did you give like a 7? Wasn't it like a Red Sparrow? There we go. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That has no correlation whatsoever.
Well, just the fact that Red Sparrow got a higher
They're
number
different
than
movies,
Tomb Raider.
different expectations going into it.
But
One,
that-
I knew what it was. One, I didn't know what it was.
That essentially, though, means that you think Red Arrow is a better movie
Red
than
Sparrow.
Red Sparrow.
It'd be nice if there was a Red Arrow movie.
Right? But you think it's better than Tomb Raider?
No.
We will not argue about this. Go ahead. Just move forward.
Two totally different movies.
I don't want to, let's just,
You don't compare like Jackass to something as serious as
Black Swan.
Sure.
I never saw it. I don't know if that's a serious movie.
Black Swan is a serious movie. It's a great movie. All right. We won't argue this. Just go.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought because you always do this, Johnny. You always like say something else.
You
try
went
to
and saw
compare.
it with Tiffany. You gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, and I don't know where I was going with it. So go ahead.
What did
Garrett.
you
Your
like it?
expectations after did it meet?
Go ahead, Garrett. I'm still getting over this.
All right. It did exceed my expectations, not by a lot, but it was more enjoyable than not. I did enjoy this movie, and it took a couple of liberties. It wasn't a straight carbon copy of the game. And I actually like that.
Nice.
Okay, now I'll jump back into it. There was some different storyline arcs that were in there, and that was pretty good for playing the game. I didn't like some of the plot holes and some of the stuff. I guess I want to go into the character next as far as the actress, but
Sure.
what's her name?
Alicia
Vikander?
Vicodin?
Yeah, she's only 29. I think in some roles,
Only.
Yeah, I was
Only
going to
29.
say.
She's at the end of her career if this is Hollywood.
I wouldn't go
in
that
certain
far.
scenes, I'm like, okay, that works. I like that. And in other scenes, I'm like, she just looks way too young for what she's doing in the movie. And sometimes it fit and sometimes it didn't.
So I'm actually kind of in the same boat with you, but it wasn't so much as she looks too young or for the part or too old for the part. It was in some shots, most shots, I would say, she looks like Lara Croft from the game. There's a couple of shots where it's just kind of like, that's maybe just not her best side, to kind of depict the character. It says nothing about her appearance or anything. Just sometimes she looked like the character, sometimes she didn't, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the villain, Matthias, it was terrible. As a movie version of the game, it wasn't good at all.
I would agree with that.
Just, he wasn't scary. He didn't feel that threatening, even though he was shooting a gun at his, his slave workers. It didn't piece together very well, in my opinion. I can see that they tried, though.
Yeah, he didn't really come off as psychopathic, kind of like dictator, in a way, just kind of weird guy with a gun.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So is this better or worse than the Jolie films?
It's been so long. I don't even remember the Jolie films.
I also don't remember the Angelina Jolie film, so I imagine it's better.
Okay, well, we'll revert the question to this. Do you foresee them moving forward with a franchise based off this?
I see at least one more movie. The certain set pieces that they have for action sequences were pretty solid. Some of the puzzly type of scenarios, I can say that because, they're trying to figure out, okay, where does this piece go? Okay, the floor is coming out from under us. How do we get out of this room? So I like kind of where they were going. Yeah.
Yeah. It still had the puzzle element. Not so much like, okay, I need to shoot this barrel to leak water so that this platform rises up kind of thing. it wasn't so much that, but, it was kind of like just through reading her history and her father's journal and all that, you kind of read passages and you use that as a clue. It's more of a riddle. in a way. And then there was some weird kind of like puzzle piece, kind of like a Da Vinci Code kind of thing, but I don't know, old like Japanese puzzles.
You talking about what she leaves on the boat? Or are you talking
There's
about?
well, there were a couple of the same things. There was the one that she leaves on the boat, which was a smaller version of the door.
Yeah, which she memorized.
Yeah.
Which you find out later, they clearly made a shot of her leaving and you're like, oh, they might find it again. No, it's just in her brain.
Yeah. No, I figured she was gonna like kind of go off and then stop and like, oh, I forgot the puzzle piece or whatever. But so they did have kind of the puzzle aspect of it, which was nice. But do I see them making more? Yes.
Well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a pretty nice.
It's
twist
about no.
You told me to go. Damn it. There's a pretty nice twist you don't really see coming at the end, which completely sets up another follow-up film.
Okay. Right.
Maybe two. I don't know how you would do all that they showed in one film.
Not so much a twist if you played the second game.
Well, I didn't play the second game, so.
What a twist.
All right, so we typically don't do numbers, Joshua.
So I talked about earlier how they kind of differentiate from the movie to the game to the movie in a small way. But, well, a couple ways actually. But one thing I just want to mention is that my one kind of problem with the games and with Tomb Raider games is that it goes on, you're solving puzzles, you're shooting people and it's like real life stuff. And then all of a sudden at the end, they'll throw in some supernatural thing. And I'm sure in the previous like PS1 games that was there too. I mean, she's shooting dinosaurs and mummies. And those kind of things. But it was nice how at the end of this movie, it wasn't some kind of just a dark ancient curse that happened and it was just like a disease. And they kind of twisted that and I actually like it. That is not in the game. It went to a supernatural thing. I like to see it more in a kind of realistic manner. So I did want to kind of call that out and actually say I like it. Cause I'm sure there's people out there that are like, well, why'd they do that? That's dumb. They changed it. But for me, I thought that was actually really cool how they kind of twisted that.
It wouldn't have worked if they did it based on the game, because based on the game, everything was pretty much, some type of supernatural or, wise from your grave.
That's not what I remember from this last Tomb Raider game.
The first one or the second one?
Well, no. So the original Tomb Raider series had a lot of supernatural stuff, but this last, like the rebooted or, Rise of the Tomb Raider and, yeah, that was like all fighting humans and survival. And then at the end, all of a sudden there's like, walking armor sets and like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. The whole game though was not that. Like 98% of the game was just fighting humans and survival,
which I liked.
Yeah, and I agree that I did not like why am I fighting this like demon spinning around?
Samurai.
Yeah, it's got like wind spinning. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like
the other okay. You're gonna this time?
No, that was it. That was it.
The other big, I guess difference from the game, which this is, big more spoiler, is her dad is actually alive. Like in the beginning of Tomb Raider, you're like, oh, your dad's dead. Now I'm going to go to his last location. We can't find him. And you find out he's actually alive and he's been hiding out for over 3 years.
Sabotaging
the whole plan, taking him away from Himiko on the island and taking him away from the tomb, essentially, because he's got all these schematics and these plans. And, they didn't really say if he's faked his death or if he got shot and Matthias thought he was dead. They didn't explain how he died. Matthias was just like, hey, Laura, yeah, I killed your dad. But then he's alive. So if you killed him, you didn't do a good job.
Yeah, her
name's Laura.
That's what I said.
It was not what you said.
What did I say?
You said Laura.
Lara?
No,
Laura?
just Laura. But okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, that is our quick review on Tomb Raider. What did you think about the movie? What did you think about the actress? And will they continue with this franchise or will we get another reboot yet again? So email us, contact at scspodcast.net or reach out to us on Twitter at SuperCoopSquad. All right. Every week we have gamer trivia. This week's no different. 2 of us go head to head. Best of 5. Sorry, excuse me. We've changed that like 10 episodes ago. I need to get it right. Best of 3 trivia contest. The winner, they stay on, they play again. Just glory, honor, mead.
Glory and honor.
How do they do it in For Honor?
The loser, they do homework essentially. You've got work to do the next week. So that's what the stakes are. So play along and see just how much gaming knowledge you have in gamer trivia. So Gary is on an unprecedented run.
I'm going to be the streak breaker today.
We'll see.
Call me the streaker.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what you want to be called. So, Gary, I think you've won 5 in a row now.
I've won 5 in a row.
It's awesome, man.
It's going for 7.
I'm up.
I hate you.
I know, but I'm hoping I can break my current record of 6.
Yep. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. I made sure to pick a topic that neither of you are probably going to be great at.
I had the feeling you would.
Yeah, just to make sure you're on even playing ground.
Fair.
Right. Is it a game?
It's not a game. No.
TV show?
I'm going to tell you what it is.
I like guessing.
Well, I'm going to count these as incorrect answers if you keep guessing and getting it wrong.
Poor sport Johnny Mac.
All right, guys. This is going to be on comic book stuff, specifically the Avengers comic book stuff.
Joshua tends to beat me in comics.
Well,
For whatever reason. He
Joshua doesn't read 0 comics.
We'll
so
see how this goes.
Johnny likes playing this to stop your streaks.
What? No.
Didn't I stop your streak with Robin trivia last time?
He stopped my streak with Robin trivia. Oh, well, you got the answers, right? You won that
And
trivia.
hold on. You guys are literally on even playing ground. You both have no knowledge.
Pretty much.
All right. Question 1. What team of teenage superheroes sparked the first Civil War? So the Civil War is a comic series that the movie was very loosely based on.
Not the Union and the Confederacy.
Confederacy? No, not that.
Confederacy?
All right. Give me your answers, gentlemen.
Well, could we get some choices?
Yeah.
Or is this...
Just guess. No, my apologies.
No
So,
multiple choice.
A, the New Warriors. B, Power Pack. C, Young Avengers. Or D, Champions. Which superhero teenage team sparked the original Civil War?
Answers one more time.
A, New Warriors. B, Power Pack. C, Young Avengers. Or D, Champions.
This is exactly what he did last time.
Avenger trivia?
It wasn't Avenger. It was like X-Men trivia or Wolverine trivia.
Oh, I dominated that one.
You did, actually. All right, I have both of your answers. We'll go with Joshua first, and he's a challenger. Joshua, you chose B. Garrett, you chose B. The correct answer is A, New Warriors. You guys chose B, Power Pack.
Damn it.
So that is incorrect for both of you gentlemen. And a quick little fun fact. So, since you guys don't know the knowledge of this. So the New Warriors were a group of young superheroes, and they were part of like a reality TV show in which they would just kind of live together, work together, go out and fight crimes. But they really weren't trained or didn't have a good grasp on their powers. They got word and kind of went into an area where there were some villains who were hiding out, living in a neighborhood. And they went in to attack these villains who were way above their power level and skills and got annihilated. And one of the New Warriors, he goes like supernova, can't control his power, and blows up like an entire like 15 city block area, killing like a whole school of children and stuff. It's pretty bad.
Why did Scarlet Witch do that?
Nope.
Why did old Professor X do that?
Nope. All right.
Ooh.
So that is 0-0. All right. Here we go. Question 2. Peter Parker's parents. It's almost it's a very alliterative.
Alliteration? Yeah.
Peter Parker's parents. Peter Parker's parents.
Peter Parker, pickle pepper.
I just
Peter
see Jameson laughing in his chair right now.
Peter Parker's parents were named what? A, Richard and Mary Parker. B, Ben and May Parker. C, Thomas and Martha Parker. Or D, Matthew and Linda Parker. I have Garrett's answer and I have Joshua's answer. Joshua.
Why did you say her name?
You chose D, Matthew and Linda Parker. Garrett, you chose A, Richard and Mary Parker. The correct answer is A, Richard and Mary Parker. So that is correct for Garrett. Get your bell.
That sounded more right. I was like, he's not going to pick A twice.
And that is unfortunately incorrect for Joshua. So that is 1-0 for Garrett.
Speaking of A for all the questions or answers or whatever, you pick C
Yeah,
for every answer.
he did last time. I noticed that too.
That was like 2 months ago.
2 weeks ago.
So,
All right, here we go. Question 3. Corsair is the space pirate father of what superhero? He is the father of what superhero? A, Nova. B, Cyclops. C, Star-Lord. Or D, Quasar? I have Joshua's answer.
I don't know.
I have Garrett's answer. Joshua, you chose A, Nova. Garrett, you chose D, Quasar.
Who's Quaid?
I have no clue.
I
I don't
can
even
tell
know
you
who
if
Corsair
you-
is.
It's okay. The correct answer is B, Cyclops. So that is incorrect for both of you, sirs.
May have been your father, boy. He ain't your daddy.
So, quick little fun fact there, since you guys both got it wrong. So Cyclops and his brother Havoc, they had to jettison a plane that was crashing and they had one parachute. They jumped out And that is how Cyclops injured his head, and that's why he cannot control his powers.
He can't control it.
No, he can't. That's why his powers are continuously on. He had brain damage from the fall. During that time, the plane was crashing, and instead of blowing up, a spaceship essentially saved his father, took him into space, and he's been a space pirate ever since. He does meet Cyclops a few times, though. Yeah, they do meet. So some pretty cool storylines there.
Abducted.
Essentially, yes, he was abducted. So there we go. So that is incorrect for both. I think I already gave you guys the buzzer for that.
Yeah. Real quick, who was the last one?
Quasar.
Who that?
Quasar is actually a newer hero. Pretty strong power level. He kind of is just a college kid who got like something hit him or like fell from the sky, gave him a bunch of power. He's really strong. Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm thinking of the right character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Am I right?
Comics.
All right. Salty Sudden. Yep. So, it's 1-0. Garrett has 1 point. Joshua has 0. You can bet however many points you have available to you. If you get this question right, you gain that many points. The question itself is always worth 2. So you can go ahead and get 2 by betting 0 or get 2 plus whatever you bet. And, I believe I have bets from everybody.
What gift did Joshua send?
I'm trying to find one.
All right, I'm going to give you guys the question. Here we go. Who was the first Iron Patriot? Who was the first Iron Patriot? I have Garrett's answer.
I never sent you my
your bet.
My bet. So
you have 0 points, sir. You can't bet anything.
Yes, I can. I can bet 0.
You can bet that you're going to bet 0 points.
All right.
I'll take that bet.
I can't take that.
You got it. You're insured? Yeah. The survival? No.
I can't take that right.
I have Joshua's GIF. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
And I have his answer. Joshua.
Yep.
You said Bruce Banner was the original Iron Patriot. Garrett, you said Rhodey, and you mean Colonel James Rhodes is what you actually mean.
Yes.
The correct answer is Norman Osborn.
Really?
Norman Osborn is the very first Iron Patriot.
So was he Iron Patriot before he was Mr. Greens?
No, it was sometime after. So essentially, he kind of does the Lex Luthor thing. Well, if you're long story short, right now Lex Luthor is essentially kind of Superman.
Okay,
and so he's like trying to be good and
sure,
all
I'll
this
buy
stuff.
that.
Yeah, right.
He's kind of
so essentially, he was attempting to be a good person, but for nefarious reasons, and he had his own Iron Man suit. And he, colored it all up and called himself the Iron Patriot.
Really? I could have, wow. Would not have guessed that in a million.
That's why it was a salty, sudden question.
Comics.
All right. Well, that's incorrect for both of you gentlemen. Now for the points. Joshua, you had 0 points. You had no choice but to bet 0 points.
I bet a 0 suit Samus.
You got the question wrong. You have 0 points. Garrett, you had 1 point. You bet 0 points. You still squeaked by with 1 point, and he took home yet another W.
Why are you drawing this out, man? Just keep going.
That's another 6. Another 6. I'm going for the record.
This is when you just gotta keep on keeping on. Let's go.
All right, guys. Hopefully, Joshua wants to get out of this part of the podcast.
Like Garrett's bets.
He's got
his 1 point.
He's got to start thinking about next week's trivia.
It's only bothering you because you lost. I know how that feels. It's a crappy feeling. All right, guys. Well, that's gamer trivia. Hopefully you feel better than Joshua did with your answers.
See you on the next game. I'm gonna kick your ass.
All right, guys, it's time for some quick topics. So we'll go into a couple of these things, 2 or 3 minutes each, and then move on. So Fortnite and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, PUBG, they come both to mobile devices, releasing on Android with an iOS release, coming soon for both.
Yeah.
Garrett, it's time, man.
It's absolutely still not time.
It's time to admit that mobile's here to stay, and it's only getting bigger.
No, I know it's here to stay.
And
I hate it.
At some point, something's going to burst and there's going to be a game that you're going to have to play or want to play on mobile.
I can play an app. I'll play an app because that's what they are.
These are games.
PUBG's an app.
Okay.
PUBG's now an app.
So
Fortnite's now an app.
Is Minecraft is an app?
Been an app. Even on console was an app.
Crazy.
No, I mean, I don't understand how people can say, okay, I'll play this on my phone. I suppose there's controller support. You get an adapter or whatever and a controller, or maybe just straight up Bluetooth, and you can use it, I suppose, in that sense. But I just can't see someone having just the phone and saying, yeah, I'll play this with touch controls.
They're cashing in, man. It'll probably, do we even know what it looks like, or they just announced it?
Looks like PUBG.
Yeah, it's gonna be PUBG.
I mean, PUBG looks like garbage anyway, so it's an easy transition.
It's actually just a
I mean, of course it's gonna be scaled down, but it's essentially the same game.
I mean, you can play those games with touch controls.
I know you can, but I just can't see people having that be their choice.
Right. Is Hearthstone a game?
Hearthstone's absolutely a game.
But,
it's on PC.
But Minecraft's on
and it's
PC.
by Blizzard.
But Minecraft's
Blizzard
on PC.
makes games. Blizzard doesn't make apps, except for like the authentication app.
So if Diablo comes to the phone, is that a game or an app?
On the phone, it's an app.
But
on console, it's a game.
So Injustice 2
that's absolutely an app.
Wait a minute. Your logic's not making any sense.
It doesn't have to. It's dumb.
I should give you. You should wear like a shocker every time you say like nonsense like this.
Right. For some reason, he said that Diablo on an app on a phone it would be an app, but Hearthstone on the phone is a game. So
I really wish that would come to Switch.
I don't get it. Okay, cool. Well, there's that. All right. So Toys R Us closing.
Are any of you interested in this?
Of course not.
No, we don't play the game. So I mean, it's cool for people that like the game and want to play the game and want to play it on their phone. But I mean, they're just raking in the dough.
Do you think you'll be able to like transfer like your save or whatever?
They're just gonna pull a Destiny. You just start over.
Well, but it's your character though.
Start a new character.
Yeah,
no, it's your character. That's what they say in Destiny.
I mean, your character from Elder Scrolls doesn't transfer from one edition to the other, does it?
Well, no, but it's not an online game.
It doesn't matter. It's just start over.
All right.
So Toys R Us closing for good. So far, there's not a specific date yet, but analysts estimate that Jeffrey the Giraffe and Co. have less than about a year and a half before all stores are closing.
Those clearance items, though.
I feel like it's going to be a lot sooner than that.
I think so too, but there will be some sort of take longer. There'll be flagships that hold out a little bit longer than others.
True. Yeah.
I think they're gonna like try to hold out until the holiday season, then everything's just gonna be, liquidation.
I don't think they have the supply to hold on that long.
Yeah, they won't. They won't. No one. Why? I mean, they wouldn't buy new product anymore.
Yeah.
So like, they wouldn't buy Call of Duty or Red Dead Redemption 2 to then liquidate it and sell it for $30 or $10 in November.
What a sad day. Like, this is Toys R Us. I can't tell you the last time I stepped into a Toys R Us for something other than
Amiibos.
Yep.
Lucario. And even now, I ordered that online.
Right.
Oh.
But it's sad, like Grayson's not going to grow up knowing what Toys R Us is.
It's gonna grow up knowing what Amazon is.
I know what Amazon is.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, you can't get Melissa and Doug toys. Not that you guys would know what those are, but
why not?
Because you don't know. I know you don't know.
Okay.
Do you know what Melissa and Doug toys are?
What's a Melissa and Doug?
Exactly. But my point was, you can't get those anywhere but Amazon. So he'll know, those things for Amazon. It'll be like that for him, sort of.
Is it like?
It's like kid toys.
Nick Jr.?
It's kid toys.
Is that what they call him? Is it a show or is that just like the term?
No, like the brand is Melissa and Doug.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't think you'd know.
Like
It's
Play
fine.
School?
If you have small children, you probably know what Melissa and Doug toys are.
Like Play School?
Yes, like Play School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like Barbie.
But yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I'm not really that sad about Toys R Us. They made a lot of bad business decisions.
I'm sure they did. Well, obviously they did. That's why they're here.
I'm sad at heart, but we knew this happened a long time ago for me.
That's what I'm saying. And I go ahead.
I was saying good memories at Toys R Us.
Do you have a fond memory of Toys R Us?
Nah, man, I never went to Toys R Us, so for me, it doesn't mean much.
They didn't have Toys R Us in your country?
No, they honestly didn't, man.
That's our toys.
It was toys for them, so I didn't get no toys.
Joshua?
Yeah. I mentioned it before, just being able to grab a slip and be like, oh, I'm going to go get this game. I'm going to go buy this slip and then walk it to the other end of the front of the store to just stare in a window, and all you see is just racks and racks of actual boxes for them to hand you a game. You're like, yeah.
For me, I bring it up every time Toys R Us comes up, but just one last time, and then I'll pour one out for Toys R Us, is stepping into it and seeing Spyro the Dragon on the PS1, a demo, and playing that and learning that Spyro is going to be fun. Yeah. That was before I got my PS1.
Very cool.
Toys R Us had they had a very unique layout. You had to go in, and then you had to walk down a long ass hallway before you actually walk into the store.
Yeah, they did have some probably part of their bad decision making.
Right. 50, 60 feet before you can actually see what's in the store.
Take longer to get inside and take longer to leave.
All right, Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Destiny 2 are both trying pretty desperately right now to update and change and alter their games and their online infrastructure. Is it possible? Can they right this wrong that they've got going on.
Well, do we know what they're trying to do?
Well, just essentially make the gameplay snappier, better, make their online like not loading,
like quality of life stuff.
Yeah, like all the small intangibles, like their loot systems.
Yeah.
You know, just the game itself better.
So I heard for Battlefront 2 that microtransactions are coming back, but it's strictly for cosmetics, which I think is what it always should be. If you're going to have microtransactions, have it be for cosmetic reasons. That nothing that gives you an edge over another player. That's how I feel. So will it be enough? I no. There's too much stink on Battlefront 2, unfortunately, because I know those people worked hard for this game. And to me, in my heart of hearts, I feel like it was the publisher, EA, Papa EA. We need a way to make more money. Throw in microtransactions. People want to play Darth Vader? Make it $700.
Right.
Yeah. So, because I'm sure they had a fun game, but no one wants to support it for bad decisions.
Right.
I don't think it can get any worse for Battlefront.
Oh, it could get worse.
I don't think it can, because they've hit a bottom, and it can only go up. It can only be it's on sale just enough for someone to be like, okay, I'll buy that.
What's funny is that they were in this very similar position for different reasons, but very similar position with Battlefront 1. Like people weren't happy with that game. And by the end of the game's life cycle, they had changed a lot of things to make the game a lot better. And yet somehow you found yourself in the same position.
And not that long ago either, not necessarily to a multiplayer kind of aspect or game, but Andromeda didn't do too great. I mean, they came out with a half-finished game with terrible animations and terrible design and graphics, and they fixed it later.
Yeah. Too late.
Yeah.
Pressure of the industry. Like you're forced to push this game out, and if you don't push it out, you're going to turn into a Scalebound, where now we don't believe in you anymore, so we're just going to drop you.
I think it's more of just the shareholders and they want to see that money now. They want more now.
I disagree. I don't think it has anything to do with EA itself or them as a publisher or shareholders. It has to do with crappy, executives that are running these development teams. Your creative directors are making crappy decisions.
I disagree. I think no one wants to make a crappy product, but when someone's telling you, okay, guys, we need this game out by so and so time, sir, that only gives us like a year, and get it done. Cut corners.
I can't see that. Other EA games do fantastically well. It's not, you can't say it's all EA. Not every EA game is bad. It's the fact that you have time constraints, but all developers have time constraints, and the best ones find a way to get it done. And if you can't, then you delay your game. But if you're not a good enough leader to force them to say, you know what, you could fire me right now if you want to, but the game's not done and we're not putting it out, then you're not a strong leader. Or if you can't manage your time enough to get the game done and their design, then you are not doing your job.
Can you name the last EA game that came out with positivity, that came out on a good note?
I mean, I don't know. They're
non-sports related.
I mean, every year the Madden games are just fine. Battlefield 1 came out great.
Okay.
Everybody loved that game.
Fair.
We'll see what happens with Anthem. I think that'll be a make or break game.
Yeah, and then I mean, here's another thing about, like, you brought up Mass Effect. That studio closed down less than 6 months later, so they were not doing their job. Like, I mean, they did their job, and of course, you're right. No one wants to make a bad product, but that doesn't mean just because you don't want to make a bad product means you're going to make a good product. You can still do a bad job even though you want to do a good job.
I don't know. I feel like it was EA going, you guys, they kneecap the progression. In my eyes, I feel that they kneecap the progression of a game, and then it didn't do as well as they wanted it to, so they got rid of that studio, rid of that company. Maybe.
I mean, it's possible, but that could be a byproduct of the poor game. That doesn't mean that EA was the reason the game was poor. I mean, there's no answer one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's just opinion. But okay, cool. That's our quick topics, guys, and we are moving on. All right, speed run time. So every week we'll break down 10 news stories and fun facts that just didn't quite make it for a full segment. We give ourselves 1 minute per topic before we move on to the next one, finished or not.
Gotta go fast.
Ultra Instinct fast.
Why?
And the speed run
There you go.
did it.
It was awkward.
It was. Johnny usually is
But we
a little
did it.
more on that.
Doing it on purpose.
Wait.
You're the one that always goes, gotta go fast.
Oh, I am, huh?
I thought you were playing.
No, I forgot.
Wow.
That's okay.
I was waiting for you to do your cue. And I'm like, why is he not saying anything?
Because you didn't do your cue.
I didn't realize it. That's
Jared,
weird.
Good job for picking up the
That's
slack.
okay.
I don't know what happened there. I literally was looking at you like, is he going to say gotta go fast?
It's glitch in the matrix.
Right. All right, let's go. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the third title in the rebooted series, has been revealed and the teaser trailer has been shown.
Didn't see it.
There
Woe
wasn't
is
really
you.
there really wasn't too much to see with mini teasers. It's just a quick glance at something, but they did give a release date. I don't remember it exactly. I think it's like September 23rd
This year?
of this year.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
that is it is great. I love getting a reveal of a game, and it's like, oh, it's around the corner. By the way, not necessarily. Here's a reveal of the game. It's out now, but I'm very excited for a third installment. They did say this would be the last of the origin story for Lara. So after this, I will be getting her in as a veteran Tomb Raider.
Yeah, they'll Nathan Drake and just throw her in a different scenario with recognizable characters.
I mean, yeah, they'll continue her story, but now she'll be the Tomb Raider
Exactly.
rather than this upstart I'm learning to be the Tomb Raider.
Rather than Rising. Next. Sonic Mania is releasing on Xbox One and PS4 physically, and will include 2 new playable characters, Ray the Flying Squirrel, and Mighty the... I have no idea what he is, actually.
Mighty the blank?
Yeah, I don't know what he is either.
I've seen the character design, and I don't know what he is. Is he a
He's something anthropomorphic.
Armadillo?
He might
Maybe
be
he's
Mighty
an
the
armadillo.
Armadillo. I think you're right.
His name's Mighty.
His name is Mighty. So we have Ray and Mighty.
Did it not get a physical release before?
No, it was only digital.
Huh.
But now we will be getting a physical release.
I'm trying to think if I finished that game.
I suppose, because I know it came out on the Switch. I don't even think the Switch has a physical version.
Remember that episode of when the Switch came out? I made that little Switch noise every time we said Switch.
Yeah, I kind of missed that.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Can I put that back? But that's a lot of freaking work.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely, you could. It'd be cool, but it is a lot of work. One cool thing about the case is that it's like holographic and shiny. I don't know if people are still picking up physical games, but
Of course they are.
If you are, go get that at GameStop, please.
I mean, Johnny and I had a discussion about it off air and everything. But physical, I don't.
It's quickly becoming obsolete. Even I noticed that, and I prefer physical games. It's just there's less and less reason to do it.
I used to when it meant something. Next.
In other Sonic news, Sonic Mania Adventures, a new animated miniseries, will be releasing online in conjunction with the game.
This is pretty cool.
I'm guessing when this game gets re-released.
They showed a little, kind of like just a small, tiny clip of it. The animation looks great. That's one great thing about Sonic Mania is like the opening kind of intro
that's what I
scene.
was just gonna ask. Is it like that?
Yes, it's that animation. It looks great. I'm sure the music is going to be awesome. Mini episodes. So I don't know. I think there's only going to be like 6 of them. Like 6 episodes, so like that.
To start, yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It does. I'm excited for this little show, and I'll check it out, see if it's got anything for me.
I wonder if Sonic will be voiced. Because I know in like Sonic Generations or Sonic Forces, they'll have old school Sonic, but he doesn't say anything. He doesn't talk. He just motions because he didn't talk, back in the Genesis era.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if it's just going to be kind of like a silent character doing cool stuff, or are they going to get Michael Jaleel White?
I don't think
No.
they will.
I don't think he's coming back.
No, he's not.
That's unfortunate.
It is, sadly enough, but
We'll learn what the hell Mighty is next.
Sea of Thieves, the upcoming Xbox One exclusive title, will have achievements that are in-game riddles. Solving said riddles will lead the player to completing each achievement.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool way to get an achievement.
That's actually really cool. A really innovative, creative way to have achievements who have been here 12 years now.
Yeah.
It's kind of stale. I mean, it's still fun, but it's stale.
Yeah, I get you, but
And they're refreshing it.
I love hearing that sound when I do, especially something unexpected. Like I'm playing Overwatch or something like that. My team gets pulled into Zarya Graviton, and I'm playing Zenyatta, and I do my Transcendence, and it's like, and it's like the rare one, so it's like awesome sound, and it's like, oh, you just negated 1,500 damage. I'm like, damn, I did that. I was just playing the game.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
This is a nice way to do it because it allows you as a player, if you're looking to do achievements, you're like, hey, gotta go search and find for some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I used to, when I pop the game on, look at all the achievements first.
Thing, yeah.
Yep.
And I don't do that as much anymore.
I'll do that just to see if it's difficulty related. I don't want to play the game twice.
Right.
So I'm playing Brave right now on the Brave difficulty.
Interesting.
Playing Brave?
I'm playing Brave. We didn't get to talk about it because we had skipped. We skipped
like
a week.
Disney?
The Disney Brave.
Yeah.
Next,
Okay.
Drake and Twitch streamer Ninja broke records last week with over 600,000 viewers during their Fortnite session.
It's crazy.
That's a big number.
Huge number.
Huge number.
But yeah, it's to be expected. I mean, it's Drake. He has like what 10.9 million Twitter followers.
Yeah, he does. But when you think Drake, music and all that, do people would they even know what Twitch is?
Yeah, of course. I mean, not all of them, but some of them will. So you got to think of it like this: if let's say this Ninja guy, I don't follow Twitch.
I don't know who he is either.
Let's just say he
Twitch.
has 10,000 viewers, which is a good number, but I don't think it's like crazy for Twitch. Yeah. And then Drake has his 10.9 million. So that's less than 10% of his people watching.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
That's a huge number for such a low percent, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that's why we deal things in percents.
Yeah, because if it had been a million, that'd be exactly 10% or so of his followers. So less than that, less than 10%.
Like Maximilian, I think has capped at like maybe 15,000. Next.
Bridget, Overwatch's newest hero, is now available to play in competitive mode.
Not exactly.
Enter Garrett.
People are still speculating how to pronounce her name exactly. It's either Bridget or Brigitte or something. She's
are
from
you guys
Sweden
stupid?
or whatever.
It's clearly Bridget.
She's from Sweden.
It's Brigitte.
Brigitte and Meatballs. But she's not available in competitive yet, right? Currently, at the time of this recording, she is in PTR. She'll be live by the time you're listening to this, so everyone will be able to play her. However, she's not available into competitive until Season 10, which is like in like 40, 50-something days or something like that. But she will be available to play, just not in the competitive mode yet.
You get all that?
I did. There's a lot of technicalities.
Sorry, just to kind of give people time to learn the character, maybe learn what's best to combat that character.
She's not out now. By the time you're listening to this, she will be out then.
Well, I was specific about it. She looks really fun. Really excited to play her on. By the time you're listening to this. Next!
Noxious will join the Tekken 7 roster as its latest playable character. The Final Fantasy 15 protagonist will use various weapons from the game, his teleportation skill, and have many fan-pleasing costumes, including his fishing costume.
Does he have a fishing costume?
He does.
I don't know. I haven't played that game since it came out, and there's been quite a few DLC updates since then, and a mobile version, and a pocket, version.
They've done a lot with this game. It's really cool to see how, and not to get into a Final Fantasy 15 tangent exactly. It's about Noctis though. To see Square Enix, when Final Fantasy 15 first came out, it had some bugs, it had some issues, it didn't have everything that people wanted, but they've put so much care and support into this game. There's constant content. There's a new multiplayer mode. You can play as all the different characters. There's a first-person mode.
Yeah, there's a co-op mode.
There's so much, and it's cool to see a company take care into it and try to kind of rectify maybe a bad experience or a bad launch.
This game came out in 2016 or 2015?
2016, I want to say.
So a year and a half.
Yeah.
Still breathing life into it, which is pretty good. We mentioned earlier, putting it into a fighting game helps add more life into it. Just came out on PC, and they might still release more content for it.
That's cute, says Rockstar. You've got a year and a half of
under your belt. Next. Far Cry 5's developer made a point this week to state that their in-game microtransactions are for cosmetic items only and not game-altering content.
This is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, like across just the gaming industry.
Really?
Well, I mean, more and more games are trying to make a point to say, like, hey, our microtransactions aren't going to give you in-game money or gear. It's only for the look.
After the fallout that is Battlefront 2, wouldn't you?
Yeah, see, but I don't want to get into it, but I don't think it's Battlefront 2's fault completely. They definitely were a huge spark, but I think that powder keg was building one way or the other, and they were just the spark that made it explode earlier than it would have.
They made it news, and so now going forward, it's look at. No one wants to come out with a game and even be thought of it like it could be like Battlefront 2.
Right.
That is poison to the franchise.
Right, but I think that this would have happened either way. Whether or not Battlefront 2 had their issue, it just would have taken longer to get there.
I don't know. I think there's room for argument there. I don't think it would have been. They would have had it as much of a forefront. I don't think they would have needed to state it this way. They might have said, "Oh, we'll have microtransactions for skins and things." They're not so much. We're gonna have skins. It's not going to be game altering.
I don't feel they need to say it anymore. I think they're so scared of people thinking the wrong thought that they have to come out and say, "Hey, we're gonna have microtransaction options, but we're not going to charge you for in-game stuff as far as non-cosmetics."
Well, wouldn't that be they have the need to say that because they don't want that to happen?
They don't need to say anything.
Next.
Twitch is now battling Microsoft and Sony in the free games department, announcing earlier this week they have a free games with Prime program. Each month, Prime subscribers can download and keep 2 games. Oxenfree and Superhot are 2 March titles, but 3 additional games are also being given for a limited time. I've heard nothing but good things about those 2 titles.
Superhot is free on the Xbox right now. Oxenfree, I think, was free previously.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is all Steam? I guess they're giving up?
That's what I'm assuming, which is kind of a bummer to me. I don't really benefit from this because I'm not a PC gamer, and I don't even think I have a PC that can run a game.
Yeah, you definitely do.
I'm sure I do, but I'm not going to put the time and effort into it.
I think this is great. I mean, more free content, the better. And I mean, if you're already an Amazon subscriber, you're just getting free more stuff.
Which most likely you are.
Yeah.
And even if you, not even do it for the game. If you want to do it for the game aspect now you also get free shipping or whatever they free 2-day shipping or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get Amazon Video.
Yeah, first, since now we're just going into Amazon here for the next 20 seconds. If you're using Amazon Prime and you're not getting your free movies, your free music, your free books, your free audiobooks, then you're doing it wrong. You get all that for free. Now you get free games.
Next.
Ran out of time. Stardew Valley developer Chucklefish
developer
is creating a new sim game titled Witchbrook. Essentially, a Stardew Valley game meets Harry Potter.
Okay, I'm out.
I'm actually in.
I know you are.
I am so in. This is sick.
Well, I'm not a Harry Potter person, and I haven't played a single Harvest Moons or sim-like game like that.
I don't know if you qualify as a person yet.
Wow.
Just kidding. It was set up. I know that was mean. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was mean.
I'm debating about cutting you off right now.
Wow.
So
I'm sorry.
Okay. Stardew Valley is, I believe, a kind of farming RPG. Actually, there's a lot of farming for resources, working on crops and everything.
Yep.
So to kind of put this into a Harry Potter-esque mode, I suppose. I mean, what are you doing? Getting what's the name of the screaming plants?
Mandrake roots?
Whatever. So
you asked me the question. I gave you the answer.
Harvesting mandrake roots.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I need to find a way at work somehow to figure out if I can. I don't want to try it. I don't want to control. I want to see if I can download an app like Steam or the Magic the Gathering online app. If I can play out my desktop without anyone finding out.
And
we know
it's called a Switch, though.
All right, guys. Well, that is our speed run. Speed run for this episode. Give us topics for next week's speed run. All right, it's time for Name the Game. 3 games, 2 competing hosts, and clues that lead to the correct answers. Use your wits, match the clues, name the game. All right. I think Garrett went down last week.
I did. This is not my forte.
I believe I've got 4 in a row now. I'm really scared I'm going to lose this week, but I've done well for myself. So if I lose, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's how you got to look at it.
I'm the biggest loser here, and I'm not losing weight.
So is that like Weight Watchers?
All right.
The biggest loser? Is that what they call them?
We're moving on.
Let's go.
All right. So I'm going to name some clues. You guys are going to guess the game.
Question?
Game number 1. One of the hardest games on the Sega Genesis.
Vector Man.
No.
Altered Beast.
No.
That game's considered hard.
Good luck getting past the 4th level.
Battletoads.
Spinball.
Both incorrect.
Damn.
Be prepared. I could be lying.
Lion King.
Lion King.
Dang.
What
Good
was
job.
the 4th level? Stampede level?
I think it was either Elephant Graveyard or the Stampede
That game
level.
is tough.
Yeah.
I think it's harder on the Super Nintendo.
All right, so that is 1 for Joshua. And Johnny, let's hope we don't get skunked, huh?
Right.
Game number 2. A first-person shooter with no guns.
Portal. Yay!
Wow.
Nice.
Quick.
But what's it called? It's called a portal gun.
It is.
Well,
So, loopholes.
I still got the answer right.
my bad.
No, that's fine. I'm just,
I suppose.
I gotcha.
Yeah, you got me. That's my fault. Sorry. All right. Well, 1-1. It is tied. This will be the decider.
Joshua's the
That's
decider.
me. That's
Don't do that.
Game number 3. Aliens infect the human race and create soldiers.
XCOM.
No.
Pass.
Each weapon in this game is vastly different from another.
Resistance.
Resistance.
Yeah, I did it.
Johnny, you did it again.
Nonsense.
I did it.
But there were no skunks, Joshua. Thanks for playing.
No.
Oh.
No thanks.
That is number 5 for Johnny.
Yeah, man. This is actually the second week in a row that I had to come back from being down 1
Yeah.
in the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's
careful.
not an easy position to be in.
Be careful.
Yep. All right. All right, guys. It is time for listener mail. Thank you for the mail, guys.
Yep.
And ladies.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Garrett, go ahead.
All right. Email number 1 comes from Eric. Eric asks, gaming is becoming more and more mainstream, and that definitely has an effect on the route gaming is going. Do you miss the old days when gaming was a more niche crowd and it wasn't something so casually viewed and enjoyed? Could gaming have survived and or come this far if it had stayed as it was in the N64 PS1 days?
Okay, so you got a lot of
Two
stuff
questions.
there. The first part, man. Yes and no. I do miss those days when it was a little bit more niche in that it felt like you were maybe a part of something, specifically. Like you had to choose to be a part of it. Whereas now, if you just live in the pop culture realm at all, you kind of it just swirls around you, even if you really don't know.
It's
That's fair.
everywhere.
It is.
It's everywhere.
But on the flip side, I do like the fact that gaming now is at a point where it's AAA. Like it's big name stuff. So that means they can do big name things.
2 things I want to add to that. I never really looked at it as a niche, I guess because I was always growing up with it, and I didn't really think of the outside world, if you will. But I do like where it is now. I like that it is casually enjoyed, for 2 reasons. A, you can talk to people about it. It's a lot easier just to talk to, someone about gaming and then talking about shared gaming, histories and what your favorite games are and all that. But 2, also, it's made it easier to play with people. Having online functionality changed gaming. That's unheard of before then. PS1 and 64 days, I can play with someone at all times of the day, any game pretty much.
Right.
So I think that's great.
Yeah. What I do miss is back then when you were into something, most of the time you didn't have anyone else that was into it. So you really got to introduce it first to your friends, to your family members, to the kids at school. You bring a Game Boy or a Game Gear. You're the only one that has it, in your class. So you're the one that gets to expose everyone to that. Now the exposure is there. So if you try to bring something, there's still that, excitement that people can get. But most of the time people either have already heard about it, they've seen something somewhere, and it's just not as involving as far as the niche part, I guess you can say, from the email. I do agree with you, Garrett. Technology has progressed so far that we can actually do almost everything through electronics, whether it be reaching out to people, playing by ourselves, just purchasing games, not having to leave our home,
Killing Toys R Us
and everywhere else. So being able to do that without having to really get out of bed it's pretty crazy.
What's the second part?
Second part, moving on. Could gaming have survived and or come this far if it had stayed in the way of the N64 and PS1 days?
No. It would have never come as far as it has.
It wouldn't have come as far as it have. It would have survived.
Oh, yeah. Surviving is not what I want to have for gaming. Comic books survive, but, comics sell, the best comic book every week sells 200,000 copies. Like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing, so I don't want it to survive. I want it to flourish. So, it wouldn't have done nearly as well.
That's true. We wouldn't have a lot of the things that we have now and a lot of the experiences. I mean, can you imagine having Gears of War, the same game, but scaled down to like Super NES version, side-scrolling shooter?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it'd be a zombie game.
It'd be different. Not necessarily be bad, but it would be different.
Right. Cool.
All
All right. Email number 2, Joshua.
That's me. Sandra asks, favorite Avenger from the MCU and why? Go.
Captain America. Easy.
That's a good pick.
And his mighty shield.
Yeah, he just does a great job of being almost exactly what the comic book version of him is. I think
out of all the heroes, do you think he's the one that closely resembles his comic counterpart, I suppose?
Resembles in like the way he portrays a character?
Yeah.
Yes.
Choices he would make, things he would say.
Absolutely. And he does it with he does it very well.
Thanks, Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans, he does a really good job there. In comparison, for instance, people really like, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. That's not really the Iron Man that you get in the comics. And now because he's so popular, in the MCU, the Iron Man we see in the comics from the last 10 years have become him.
Now resembles RDJ.
Yeah, but that's not who he was before.
Was he not like a snarky alcoholic, and brilliant? I guess engineer.
Well, yeah, he's a scientist, engineer, and he is snarky, but he's really a jerk. And they really downplay the alcoholism in the MCU. Like he's really not an alcoholic.
Okay.
But
well, then I guess wouldn't that be, well, are you saying in the comics he's much more of an alcoholic?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you really only see him as an alcoholic in Iron Man 2?
I think the first one, maybe.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
It's not a big part of his character, but it's a big part of his character and how he grows and develops in the comics. So.
I will say for him, he does a fantastic job portraying the character, looking the character. Maybe not so much making the choices that the comic character would make, but damn, does he look like Tony Stark. Yeah. I call him Tony Stark accidentally, constantly.
Yeah, he does look it.
For me, probably could see it coming, but Rocket Raccoon. I love Rocket Raccoon. 1, he's a raccoon. 2, he's funny. And I like that he's smart. I'm sure that's nothing to what he's like in the comics. I can remember seeing Rocket Raccoon on my first exposure to him was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, sadly. And I was not a big fan of him then. He was British accent, had some weird uniform or something like that. Not my favorite depiction of him. But in the MCU, absolutely. He is a really fun character. I like that he got a little more, screen time in the second movie. So I'm all for Rocket Raccoon.
Did Ultimate Marvel come out before Guardians of the Galaxy?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Interesting how that plays out, where you're introduced to a character and you're like, who is this character? Like Nova. A lot of people didn't know who Nova was.
It's having a crossover guest character in your game. Yeah, that'll spark an interest.
Yeah. Mine's still my current favorite Marvel character, which is Captain America. Just the fact that looking at the first Avenger and seeing how he was as a person and how he essentially stood up to bullies and was just, I'm going to do right because that's what I believe in. And that still transcends throughout the entire MCU. Even in Civil War, he still stands up for what he believes is right, even though it may not be the best decision. It's what he personally believes in, and that's essentially his morals and his code. And that's what I like about him the most.
Cool.
Besides the fact that he's just running circles around Falcon.
On your left.
Oh, yeah.
I keep saying memes all over the place.
Do.
What's his name in that movie? In the Green Mile? Or in Green Mile? 8 Mile.
Oh, I didn't see 8 Mile, even though I quoted Mom Spaghetti.
What's his name in that movie?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't know he was in that movie.
He's the one that Eminem goes up in the final battle and shuts him down. He doesn't rap back because he got burned at the very end of 8 Mile. Okay.
Jamie Kennedy?
No. Please don't. Please don't.
Cool. All right, cool. Let's move on.
Thanks for the emails, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it as always, guys. Thank you. So we're going into superpowers. So at the end of every show, we'll talk about what's going on with us outside the podcast, gaming, whatnot, and we give each other stupid superpowers for good or for bad.
Took my intro twice. That's okay.
You did kind of take it.
Well, I took it?
Yeah, normally now we're going into, and then it's my cue.
Okay, fine.
No, it's too late.
All right. Cool.
Superpowers. I gotta pick it up again.
Garrett.
I gotta pick it up again.
All right.
Because Johnny keeps messing it up.
So here we go. For my week, what did I play? I'm slowly getting through Cuphead. I don't have a lot of time to play. Just because I have a child and a full-time job. But
turn on that second controller, give it to Grayson.
Yeah,
let's go.
He will pick it up and throw it on the floor. That's about all he'll do.
That's about what everyone who plays Cuphead does,
right? But I'm almost through with it. I'm enjoying it. There are some levels that are kind of annoying, but
did you fight the ghost train yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Right now, I'm fighting some
Are you still on the bee?
I beat the bee.
Okay.
I'm fighting some stupid guy in a Iron Giant.
Okay.
I don't like him.
The scientist guy, right?
That guy sucks. But yeah, I'm playing that, and then my son turned 1 on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you listen to this, 5 days ago. That was a fun party, a lot of work.
Yesterday, but we're not counting.
Well, I said by the time you're listening to this, 5 days ago.
You did say that, okay.
Yes, I did. But yeah, that was fun. Went to the zoo and stuff. So a good week for me. Got my tax return. How are your taxes going, gentlemen?
I did it back in January.
Good job. How are your taxes going, Garrett?
I got an email from Johnny. I'm going to look into that.
Do your taxes.
I know.
Yeah, you have like 2.5 weeks.
I should get to that.
Yes.
As long as I turn it in before the deadline, right? I'm good?
Yes.
All right. Okay. I got like 2 weeks.
Money you might get back, and you might want that sooner than later, yeah?
I might want that money sooner than later.
There's no might about it. You're going to want
no,
that
I can
money.
hold off on that money for another 3 weeks.
That's all for me. All right. Super power. All right. Play rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins gets my power.
Do you already have the power pick?
I do.
Okay. Is it best out of 1?
Yes.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah, okay.
Joshua lost. So Garrett, you get my superpower. So you have the ability to just in your finger, like in your thumb or like any of your nails, you just kind of like flip it up and you will have like an outlet there. So like a USB outlet or a C outlet or like, a prong for a device. You can just jack in and you can just, charge it with your own energy. Now you got to be careful because, it's your energy, but yeah, essentially you can do that.
And basically, I forget what her name is, a headphone jack or something in My Hero Academia. The girl with the long ears.
Yeah, but her power is stupid. Like she only can jack in like one
like
kind of thing. Like you essentially like someone's like, oh man, I need to like charge my phone. You just lift up a fingernail. There's a slot.
So you're a walking portable charger.
Yeah, man.
So I'm a slave for everybody.
No, but you can also use it for other things. Like, hey, I want to play some music. Like, boom, and now you're a boombox.
Slave for electronics. Yep.
It's not a slave. You have capabilities. Downloading information into yourself. You could use a myriad of ways.
Okay.
So that's your power.
All right.
You're not nearly as happy as I thought you should be.
I probably wouldn't use that too often.
Okay, fair enough.
But okay, thank you.
Well, screw you too.
You can use it to charge your Switch on low battery. There you go.
I might. Okay. All right. I got
you a useful way to use it.
Thank you, Joshua.
All right. Go ahead.
Let's see. My week, caught Tomb Raider, still playing Overwatch. Really looking forward to Brigitte. Not too much. Just kind of just holding on to things, looking forward to more things and keeping her steady as she goes. I believe Sea of Thieves is coming out on Tuesday, which will probably be when I get Xbox Game Pass.
Yep.
So that'll be nice, and see what other games I can download. Playing Brave is a free 360 game a couple days ago. It's not free anymore.
It's random, very random.
Since when's the last time he purchased a free game?
Right
from Xbox Games with Gold.
See, I looked at it before I downloaded it. I'll check game clips. I'll look at screenshots, and it actually looked fun. It's more of like a kind of twin stick shooter that has different elements, and each element has kind of different properties on what you do to enemies. And I like doing that because you can switch elements on the fly. You can, shoot arrows. Ice arrows obviously slow people down. Fire arrows do, damage over time and all that kind of stuff.
You had me at twin stick shooter.
And when did I lose you?
No, you had me. That's it. That's all you needed to say.
It's kind of top down. It's not exactly top down. It's kind of like maybe facing away from a bit 1.5 top down.
Okay.
I don't know. But, I checked the achievement list. They all seem fairly easy, just time consuming. So for each element, I think, there's an achievement for killing like 250 enemies. It takes some time, but, that's probably what I'll do. There was an episode, an achievement to go through a level without using your sword, cause you also get a sword. You don't have to use it. And I did that. I thought I did it one time, but because I had ended my gaming session and then came back and reloaded it, I did use my sword previously, before shutting it off. And so it counted that. And so I did the whole mission thing. All right, I'm gonna get this achievement finally. Then I can just use my sword because for whatever reason, the sword's really strong. But you're taking damage a lot more. So it kind of evens out. But I didn't get the achievement. So whatever. But I ended up getting it. I think like yesterday or something like that. So it's surprisingly fun. Okay. So that was nice. That's what I'm doing. Nothing else. Joshua.
Yep.
I have your power.
So is it better than the bag of holding?
I mean, I thought the bag of holding was pretty useful. You got to use it for free.
I did.
But anyway.
I got to use it for free because it wasn't a superpower.
You have all the powers of Captain America, except for when you throw your shield. When you throw your shield, it'll still ricochet off enemies and come back to you, but you don't quite have the dexterity to catch it.
I have the dexterity to throw it, but I don't have the dexterity to catch it.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you really only have the power as long as you're holding the shield.
So that's totally different.
I mean, as long as you got the shield, it's fine.
So do I just can't catch it? Does it just hit me? Do I just whatever?
No, because when you're fighting people, you just like instinct, because you kind of have the moveset of Captain America. You just throw it without actually thinking. You know, you just kind of see, oh, there's an enemy over there. Throw your shield.
And then I lose my power.
You lose your power and get hit by the shield, but you pick it up again and you got your powers back.
There you go.
It's acceptable, I guess, compared to last week. Alrighty. So my week, I went to the birthday party that Johnny hosted.
As did I.
Yep. And I was able to go to the zoo as well.
I was not.
Yeah, you had to work. I don't remember the last time I went to a zoo, so it was fun. Saw some giraffes and some elefantes and some monkeys monkeying around.
Un elefante como vean.
They like come back.
Nope, stop.
Home.
Me say yo.
Yeah, so there's that. I caught up on Flash, caught up on the last little bit of Arrow, and I watched episode 2 of Jessica Jones. So,
all right.
So one episode a week is what I'm trending right now.
That's how it used to be in the old days.
Yep, that's true. Dragon Ball Super was so good yesterday. I think it's down to its last 1 or 2 or 3 episodes.
I'll find out next year, I suppose.
Yeah,
that was a lot of options.
Yeah, it's 1 or 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't want to say 1.
You can see the ending coming.
Yeah, it's pretty much towards the back end.
Nah.
So that's pretty much it. Nothing really crazy. I haven't been into a lot of the news this week. It's just been a busy, long week for me. But I did get a free iPhone X, so I am pretty pleased about that.
Dang.
Thanks, Apple. So
cool.
And then Johnny was begging me for my other phone.
Whoa! I begged you?
Yep.
I didn't beg you. What? Get out of here! Beg
how's it working?
It's working great, but I didn't beg you. I bought it off of you.
Well, I don't see the money in my hand.
I have already given you your first payment. You jerk, you.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's not my fault.
You didn't tell me you paid.
I don't have to tell you. It's going to be in your bank account.
You didn't tell me you got paid.
I gave you your first payment.
It would have been nice to know that, because
when you see the extra money in your account, then you will know it's from me, because I sent you a message with the money.
Thanks.
Dang.
You're welcome.
Dang.
Beg you.
Didn't be an ass about it.
You said I begged you for the phone that I'm paying you for.
That was a joke. Damn. Slow your bro, little man.
I'm normal height. You're just tall.
Ready for your superpower?
I'm ready for my superpower.
No, we're going to give you a stupid ass superpower.
All right.
Johnny Mac, you have the ability.
Okay.
Any liquid, more like a drinking liquid, like a soda or a water or a wine.
Okay.
Any liquid that you see in front of you, you are able to touch and change it to any other liquid that you want.
That's sick.
So you got water in here, you want to drink Gatorade? You got whatever Gatorade you want.
Oh man, see, but
Yeah, you're right. There is a but in there. But your bladder is half the size that it normally is, which means that you will probably have to go to the bathroom twice as much.
Okay. Well, why?
That's just what happens.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Whatever.
The equivalent exchange.
So you mean I have your bladder?
No.
Sometimes we have to stop the podcast halfway through almost for Joshua.
That is incorrect and untrue.
That is not true, yeah. But you do have to go to the bathroom quite often.
Because I drink a hell of a lot of water.
But here's the thing though. So I could let's say I have a super soaker, right? And then I go into a bank, I'm like, give me all your money. And they're like, ha. Then I spray some water on them. I go, give me the money or I'll burn your face off. And I just turn the water for an instant to acid. I turn it back to water.
Okay.
Give me the money.
So,
and then I can't even get arrested because I didn't even have a deadly weapon. Because in my super soaker, it's just water. It's just water.
You still robbed the bank.
No.
yeah, no, that's, assault
and
charges. Yeah. Yeah. So first off, you do this every time. You change whatever power I give you and turn it to something evil. And then secondly, I said liquid. I didn't say acid. And
acid is a liquid.
Yeah. So I said drinkable liquid.
No, you said any liquid
that you can drink.
And you can drink that. You'll die, but you can drink it. You've already given me the power. It's over.
You kind of already gave me the power.
If my legs weren't asleep right now, I would leave.
Now you're stuck here.
Or I don't want to ever spit on anybody. Let's say I'm in a fight. I just spit on someone, then turn it into magma and just melt. It's just, I'm a dangerous.
Well, be careful because you have to touch it.
I don't have to touch it.
He said you have to touch.
No.
You touch the liquid.
I did say that.
He said you have to touch the liquid.
Yep.
Crap.
Yep.
So I mean, you can touch it and turn it to magma, but it'll burn.
I mean, I'll just touch it real quick and then it's done and it transforms.
I almost don't want to do this segment anymore. Johnny's just going to keep like doing the worst of all of it.
I want to be a super villain.
Super villain.
That's all there is to it.
Flame.
Flame's a deep cut. All right, guys. Thank you for listening this week. We appreciate you. We always have a lot of fun. Hopefully you have fun as well. Before we get out of here, guys, if you want to help the podcast, if you want to help the show, you can do it in one of several ways. I'll break them down for you real quick. Leave us a review on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Google, wherever you're listening, guys. Drop us a couple of stars, maybe more than a couple.
5. Give us 5
Give
stars.
us an honest review. Give us some nice words. We appreciate that time.
Maybe even not so nice, as long as it's constructive.
Right. Yeah, there we go. Let a friend or some family members or someone that you know that might enjoy the show know about us. That's honestly the biggest way that the show continues to grow, and grow it does, but that's all because of you guys. So, give us a recommendation. We would appreciate that. And lastly, guys, if you want to support us in a monetary way, you can do so by going to our Patreon, patreon.com/Super Co-op Squad. On there, you can give us $1 or $2, whatever's on your heart, guys. Anything that you guys do, go ahead and subscribe to us as a patron for. Goes to helping us with server costs, goes for anything that we're doing for marketing, for equipment, all those type of things, guys. But again, as always, thank you just for listening. Before we get out of here, if you want to chat with us, you can do so by hitting us up by email, contact@scspodcast.net, or on Twitter. You can find us as a group at Super Co-op Squad. You can find us all individually as well. You can find me at JohnnyMac24.
You can find me at GJL3275.
Okay. You can find me trying to catch my shield at Joshua_4_life.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. As always, I'm Johnny Mac.
I'm Garrett.
Joshua.
Peace.
This happened a long time ago for me.
That's what I'm saying. And I go ahead.
I was saying good memories at Toys R Us.
Why can't you two figure out who's gonna speak?
I did. That's why I just let them go.
We're nice enough to give each other turns.
But you guys are stumbling over.
Not talking over people.
You just did it right now to me. I was trying to talk, and you're still cutting me off.
I was trying to.
You're doing it right now.
No, you keep
talking when I'm trying to talk.
Your sentence is over.
Watch these levels. Let's watch these levels. Okay.
Garrett, do you hear him every time I'm talking?
I mean, I'm just saying when there's a pause in between. There was not a 1 second pause. That means there's room to talk.
No, when someone, just because I have to stop for a second to continue my speech doesn't mean that I'm done.
You done?